All right, this next little number is for all you beginners out there. Wink, wink. Stop deciding you can't before you've tried. What is up, people? Jean Carlos here with the Total Body Training Podcast, and where we help people get lean, gain muscle, and build some damn confidence. And today's topic is stop deciding you can't before you've tried. Oh my gosh. I think that not a single week has gone by in the history of my training career where I haven't shown someone something new and they haven't had a little freak out about whether or not they can or cannot accomplish that exercise or that movement. And here is why. Part of it's because I'm working with new people, and it's completely understandable. I get it. I show some kind of difficult stuff. Learning how to squat when you're not a workout person, learning how to deadlift when you've never deadlifted in your life is tricky. And it's for good reason, because you've never done it in your life. And because maybe you sit at home all day, or maybe you sit at home all day. Maybe we work, right? Or maybe you're a stay-at-home mom. Maybe you sit a lot at home while you're busting your ass, helping your family and your kids. Or, or you're in the office all day. So you're chained to the desk, typing away. Maybe you work for the IRS and you're typing and crunching numbers in front of a computer, and you haven't moved your body in 25 years. So you think to yourself when you see me teaching you a movement, or you see some skinny person online doing some complex squatting or deadlifting or bench pressing, something like that, holy fuck, I can't do that. So you decide you can't before you've even tried. So what do I recommend in that kind of situation? Number one, don't freak out. Freak out. Don't do that. The only time you should freak out is if you're listening to the song. Freak out. Seriously, don't freak out. It's okay. It is understandable that you are having a little bit of a personal feeling about this, that you can't do it, right? It's understandable. Freaking out about the situation isn't going to help you. Just relax, stay calm, and, wait to see if you can do it. If you have a little meltdown before you even have given the movement or the exercise any kind of consideration, then chances are you are definitely sure as hell not going to be able to do it, or definitely sure as hell not going to be able to improve. So don't freak out when you're learning something new. I see it all the time. I teach something, I show like the difficult version of something in a class, then someone loses their shit before I even get done. No offense to anybody. I have been that kind of person. That's why I'm saying this. I have been the kind of person who, when I was training with my friend Pete, when he first showed me how to work out, when I was in college, like how to do like the actual stuff, like not using machines, but doing like powerlifting movements or power building movements, I would have a freak out every time. It's like the deadlift. What the hell is that? I can't, my back is rounding, and the squat, oh, my legs hurt, my knees hurt, all that stuff. Trust me, I have been there with you, beginner. I understand what you're feeling. Freaking out about the situation is not going to help you though. So don't freak out. Calm down, breathe. Maybe into a bag, or do some deep meditation, some deep thinking, some stuff to get your mind right so that you can accomplish stuff. Freaking out isn't going to help you. All right, the next thing on there is just be humble. Humility or a lack of humility shows up pretty damn quick when people are trying to learn something. One version of this is that sometimes when someone sees something they can't do, they get a little pissed off. So they say, that's fucking stupid. That's such a lack of humility, and that's so arrogant for you to act that way. People will be like, that looks stupid. That's a sign that you have some serious confidence issues, and that you're just not a very humble person. Or you're not acting out in a humble way, right? You've got a tough old shell of lack of confidence that is displaying itself in a lack of humility in your language and in your tone. So chill out. Don't not be humble. Instead, be humble. And, don't showboat. So, like, let's say that you're the kind of person who is struggling, so you're talking shit. That's one kind of person. Another kind of person could be the kind of person where they try to overdo it. So they try to do something that they just can't do yet. Or they try to act like they can, or they don't accept any kind of help from an instructor or a trainer. Or they get mad. I've seen people get mad. They're like, I don't want to do it if I can't do it right the first time. If it looks too hard for me, I can't. I don't want to do it. right? You've got to be humble to learn, and you've got to be okay with the fact that you might look a little bit funny the first time that you try doing something. Yeah, sure, whatever. If you're in a good environment with good people, a good coach, or you're working out on your own, you got to be humble and don't worry about all that crap. You don't have to worry about what people think of you, or you don't have to try to hide yourself or hide your movements or get upset about them or completely veto something just because you can't do it right from the get-go. Don't decide you can't do it before you've even tried. Number 3, learn the fundamentals. What does that mean? For each movement, there are basic little fundamental things that you've got to learn. Basic little patterns, movements with your body that you've got to put together along with the aid of a coach or, with your own self if you're using some kind of video or online coaching to figure out how to do. And, that could be the deadlift. So when you're learning how to deadlift, maybe you grab the bar and the first time your legs are all shaky and you round your back, and then, if you learn the fundamental of not rounding your back or learning to tighten your lats or grab onto the bar and lock out before you pull, right? You're learning all these little tiny itty bitty fundamentals that lead to you pulling that weight ever so gracefully off the floor and putting it down like you're a pro, right? It takes time to get to that point where you're like a pro. You've got to be humble and you've got to learn your fundamentals in order to do that. So just be okay with the process of learning and building up every day, little by little, to getting good at something. Recognize that people do not get everything right away. Yeah, sure. Some people get the fundamentals quicker. So some people maybe have a better understanding of their body, where they have their body and where it is and stuff like that. They understand that. But other people, like myself, when I first started training, I did not understand how to do that and keep my back all straight and tight. So focus on the fundamentals and you'll get it with time and practice. Number 4, recognize it won't be easy, but nothing worth it ever is. Man, this almost sums up the whole process here. Sometimes people get upset because it's not easy. And, what I have to say to you is that, in life, nothing that's worth it ever came to you easily. And when you were a kid, when you were young, you, I think, had a better sense that that was the case. So, some kids do. Let me explain. So, when you were a little kid and you were trying to learn how to do something basic, like tie your shoe or walk or do anything like that, you didn't sit around thinking about how you could I just can't tie my shoe. I can't do it, mama. Look at me, I can't tie my shoe. I tried once and I couldn't do it. I saw you do it. You don't get that way. What you do is you try and then you try again until you get it, right? Now maybe there are kids who did that, and I would argue that sometimes that's a learned behavior, I would say. But on average, I think that children, and this is a broad generalization, but that the children, at the very least babies, when they're learning certain skills, just basic fundamental skills, don't sit around thinking about why they can't do it, or thinking why can't it be easier. But us, as we get older and as we become adults and we find things that we're good at and things that we're not good at, all of a sudden want everything to be easy, right? I think it's a part of our culture too. Just everything, we get everything so easily. Our phones, it's instantly we can see that picture of my favorite band whose name I forgot that I used to like when I was in the 7th grade. If I just look through that file on my phone and find that song from the 7th grade, or it's just like that. We get things so easily that sometimes that we tend to forget that things take time. But the things that are really valuable in life take time, right? Working on a relationship takes time. Working on preparing delicious food, right? Making a delicious meal takes time. Learning just big things in life. Raising a child. I've never raised a kid, but raising a child and watching them as you get old and shit like that, right? If that's what you want to do, if you want to be a parent, that takes time. Learning how to raise them takes time. Everything in life that's worth it takes time. So just think to yourself of times that you've received something that you didn't work for. You probably didn't value that as much as something that you busted your ass doing. This last part is completely opinion. In fact, this whole thing is opinion. But at least that's what I think. I think that the things that I have valued the most in my life are things that I worked on. And I would say that you probably feel the same way, listener out there. So, people, these are my points. Don't freak out. Be humble. Learn the fundamentals. Recognize it won't be easy, but nothing worth it ever is. Stop deciding you can't before you've even tried. All right, people, that's it for the Total Body Training Podcast. Until next time, peace.